Elara, a 28-year-old cartographer with sharp green eyes and auburn hair tied in a loose braid, stood on the edge of the Whispering Isles, her boots sinking into the damp sand. Kalen, a tall, broad-shouldered man with piercing blue eyes and a scar running down his left cheek, approached Elara, his voice low and cautious. "You shouldn't be here," Kalen said, his tone laced with both warning and curiosity as he glanced at the map in Elara's hands. Elara tightened her grip on the map, her voice steady. "I've spent my life studying these islands. I won't leave until I understand them." Kalen sighed, his gaze drifting to the horizon where the islands seemed to shimmer and shift. "Understanding them might cost you more than you're willing to pay." As they ventured deeper into the archipelago, the air grew thick with an eerie energy, and the islands seemed to respond to their presence. Elara noticed that Kalen's steps faltered whenever they passed certain landmarks, as if the islands were tugging at his memories. "What aren't you telling me, Kalen?" Elara asked, her voice sharp with suspicion as she studied his troubled expression. Kalen hesitated, his voice barely a whisper. "These islands, they don't just shift, they remember, and they make you remember too." Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled, and the trees seemed to close in, their whispers growing louder and more urgent. Elara grabbed Kalen's arm, her heart racing. "What's happening?" she demanded, her voice trembling with fear. Kalen's eyes widened as he realized the truth. "The islands, they're reacting to us, to our memories, our emotions. We need to leave now." As they fled, Elara caught glimpses of fragmented memories, her own and Kalen's, flashing before her eyes, revealing secrets they had both buried. When they finally reached the shore, breathless and shaken, Elara turned to Kalen. "Who are you really?" she asked, her voice barely audible. Kalen met her gaze, his expression filled with sorrow. "I was born here, Elara, but the islands, they took everything from me, and they'll take everything from you too, if you let them." Elara stared at him, her mind racing. She knew she had a choice: to leave and preserve her sanity, or to stay and uncover the truth, no matter the cost. In the end, Elara chose to stay, her heart pounding as she took Kalen's hand. Together, they faced the Whispering Isles, ready to confront the shadows of their pasts. As they ventured back into the heart of the archipelago, the islands began to shift more violently, as if resisting their presence. Elara noticed a pattern in the islands' movements, a rhythm that seemed to echo the beats of their hearts. "Kalen, the islands, they're alive," she whispered. Kalen nodded grimly. "They've always been alive. They feed on memories, on emotions. That's why they took everything from me." Suddenly, a figure emerged from the mist, a woman with silver hair and eyes like molten gold. "You've returned, Kalen," she said, her voice echoing with power. Kalen's face paled. "Mother," he whispered, his voice trembling. Elara's eyes widened in shock. "Your mother?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. The woman smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "You've brought her to me, Kalen, just as I knew you would." Elara's heart raced as she realized the truth. "You used me," she said, her voice shaking with anger. "You brought me here for her." Kalen's eyes filled with tears. "I had no choice, Elara. She's the one who controls the islands. She's the one who took everything from me." The woman laughed, a sound that sent shivers down Elara's spine. "And now, my dear, you will give me what I need to control the world." Elara's mind raced. She knew she had to act quickly. Kaelin, we need to break her hold on the islands. Together, she said, her voice firm. Kaelin hesitated, then nodded. You're right. We can't let her win. Not again. Together, they focused their emotions, their memories, and their will. The islands responded, shifting and trembling as if in pain. The woman screamed, her form beginning to dissolve. No, you can't do this, she cried, her voice filled with rage and fear. With a final, deafening roar, the islands settled, and the woman vanished, her power broken. Elara and Kaelin collapsed to the ground, exhausted but victorious. Elara looked at Kaelin, her heart filled with a mix of emotions. We did it, she whispered, her voice filled with relief. Kaelin nodded, his eyes filled with gratitude. Thank you, Elara, for everything. As they stood on the now stable islands, Elara knew that their journey was far from over. But for the first time, she felt a sense of hope and a belief that together, they could face whatever came next.